reminder, North's Devils are at home to the Logan City Scorpions. Your commentators, ABC Sports' Warren Boland and former Australian captain, Tom Raudonikis.
Welcome to the Brisbane Big League. Early in the season, we're trying to take a look at all the teams, and today it's our chance to look at Logan City for the first time as they take on Norths. The Devils are unbeaten, equal leaders of the competition. They've won 4 out of 4, an excellent for and against record. They've scored 108 points, conceding just 54. Logan City are on 4 points, but they have a terrible record in defence. They've already conceded 120 points this season. In fact, the Scorpions won their first 2 games, but have since suffered 2 thrashings, 48-0 at the hands of Souths, and then 50-6 at the hands of Wests last week. Both teams have lost a couple of players to the Brisbane State League teams, but it's Logan City who are going to have to show a marked improvement today, Tom.
Yes, Warren, but the big question today is, can Logan City contain the brilliant rotund Daryl Duncan? Now, if I were coach Wayne Bretherton, the Logan City coach, what I'd be doing, I'd get one forward to watch Daryl Duncan all day in defence. That means every time Daryl Duncan touches the football, that certain player must tackle him. And even if he looks like getting that ball, that player must be hit on suspicion. Now, if Logan City can do this, they are, they're in with a big chance. But in all honesty, Warren, I don't think they can do that. So I'm picking Norths to win.
And here come the Devils, led out by Daryl Duncan. And the lineup, Jeff Huxtable at fullback, Guy Harvey on one wing, Pat Chumave in the centre with Peter Gibson, Darren Roberts on the wing, Mark Kellaway at 5'8", Craig Lee is at halfback, at lock forward Dave Asplin, Ian McKenzie and Darren Duncan in the second row, Joe Topping, Troy Evans and Paul Dinty are the front rowers. The coach is Dave Brown. And Logan City take the field in enemy territory at Bashup Park. And the lineup at fullback, Doug Hughes. On one wing, Tony Girdler with Bob Armstrong and Bernie Finch in the centre. Wayne Chalice on the other wing. Tony Loonan, 5'8", Peter Connors, halfback. At lock forward, Robert Braun, Gary O'Brien and Paul Strawn in the second row. Ricardo Torrey, Aaron Stewart and Tim Young, the front row. The coach, Wayne Bretherton. Troy Evans, the North's hooker, tried out with the Gold Coast Seagulls, and for a while it looked as if he would be playing grade with them this season, but wasn't graded with the Seagulls and has been troubled by injury early in the season. And Wayne Chalice, an experienced Sydney player, originally started with Brisbane Souths and then played quite some seasons with Sydney East before returning to Brisbane, and now with Logan City on the wing. The referee is Steve Smith. Rain drizzling down, but it hasn't been heavy for the most part, and so the handling shouldn't be too badly affected.
Well, Warren, it's a great day here for rugby league. It's overcast, it's quite pleasant, and Logan City have got the advantage of a slight breeze, so I think it's going to be very important for Tony Loonan to make sure he gets his kicking game in order.
We'd expect to see plenty of intensity early on here. Logan City really have to take it to North. And that's what Paul Strawn is doing right now. He's 10 metres short of halfway. Back it goes to Tony Loonan for the kick. Waiting back there is Guy Harvey. Dragged to ground. Good chase by Logan City. First penalty of the match goes against the Scorpions. Up inside the 5, out in the backs. Referee Smith coming right across field to ping them. But early in the game, referee often lays down the law regarding just what distance he requires of the 5 metres. Both teams very keen to get up on each other. Harvey doesn't pick up a great deal of distance, only gained about 6 metres across field.
It's going to be good to see here Logan City, see what they're capable of doing in defence, because in the last couple of weeks they've had a terrible couple of hidings.
Paul Dinty headed across field, almost skirted some of the forward defence. Now it's McKenzie for Norths. Straight and hard, Dave Asplin playing in the lock forward position, although he's wearing number 10. Darren Bell, a fresh reserve for Norths. Here's Daryl Duncan. And a right foot step beats a couple of players, but the pass goes astray and Logan City in possession. Fullback Doug Hughes wants to be in the action. He's already taken the ball up into the forwards twice. Good offload back inside to Evans.
Warren, I think it's going to be very important here for Robert Armstrong. He's the captain of Logan City. He's got to really keep talking to his blokes, driving them, and he's really got to lead them by example.
Strawn takes them on again. Halfback Peter Connors tries to get his backs moving, cutting back inside Armstrong. Duncan almost got an ankle. Bob Armstrong stayed on his feet for quite some time there. Fifth tackle, 10 metres inside North's half. Out it comes to Connors. He's lost it though, under good pressure. Fine chase put on him there by Mark Kellaway, the North 5'8". North right on the halfway. In close to the action is Craig Lee. Now Lee is wearing number 4, but he is playing at halfback for North. The Devils carried into Logan City's half. That's Asplin with the ball. They work it to the blind side. Lee takes them on himself. Plenty of defence coming over the top from Gary O'Brien. Duncan, 2 off the ruck. Gets his pass away to Huxtable, and Huxtable running well. Looks outside, gets the pass away. On it goes from Dinty. This is great football from North. Mackenzie with the final pass to Harvey. And is it a try? Yes, it is. There was a whistle blowing there as if it was going to be called back. But the try awarded in the corner, and that was fine work. All started by Jeff Huxtable, the fullback. He made the initial inroads. The support was there. And this is a fine passage of play from North. Started by Duncan. He cuts back inside, slips the ball away. Huxtable accelerates well. He left them grasping behind him. That pass really was the secret. The pass delivered right over the top to Mackenzie backing up, and Guy Harvey positioned alongside him as Chalice came in to make the final tackle, and the position improved by Guy Harvey.
Great football here by North. Look at Jeff Huxtable go up the centre, found a big hole up there. The ball went to Paul Dinny, who was backing up well, and out to Ian Mackenzie, and went on to Guy Harvey, and mate, that was one of the best tries you'll see for a long time.
Guy Harvey, the winger, to attempt this conversion. 10 metres in from touch. Try to convert his own try. The rain blowing into his face. And he hits it well. It's going to be close. It's waved away, just hooking around that left-hand upright. The score remains 4-0. An early try to Norths over Logan City.
Yeah, here we see the ball go to Daryl Duncan. He cuts back inside. See him go along here. Now, Logan City, they let him get the pass away to Huxtable, who finds a beautiful hole up the middle. And I'll tell you, that was a good pass taken there by Paul Dinny. And out to Ian Mackenzie. Now, Ian Mackenzie could have scored this try himself, but wasn't selfish. Give it to Gus Harvey, and Gus Harvey in for a nice try.
Out in centre field, Bernie Finch. 15 metres short of halfway. Torrey gets it back to Young. This is Loonan. Stepping well, got support. Back to Aaron Stewart. And he crosses the halfway line. More promising attack from the Scorpions. And now they get the penalty. First time they've really put any pressure on Norths, and Norths, Mackenzie not getting off the tackle player.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Now we see Logan City for the first time put some pressure on the Norths. Let's see what they can do in attack.
Tony Girdler to look for touch, but that kick has gone straight across field, and he picks up only 1 or 2 metres.
Shocking kick that. Now that should have been at least down in the corner.
At least it went out. Aaron Stewart takes the tap, gives it to Ricardo Torrey. Torrey born in New Zealand.
Actually, Torrey is a really big fella there for a front rower too. Like, well, they have to be big, but he's just not using his weight. He's not getting deep enough to run onto the ball, and he should be doing a lot of damage, which he's not doing.
Connors gets it out to Loonan. Loonan's been a busy player already in this match. Robert Braun now, going wide. The defence holding. 30 metres out. Torrey starting to get more involved. Now they use the backs. Connors, Loonan. Oh, he had men inside and outside, and the defence got confused in the end.
That was a great little ball there from Tony Loonan. He just slipped it out to the halfback.
They keep it going with Armstrong putting the kick ahead. Hughes giving chase. The North's back there in defence. Darren Roberts back there, playing on the wing. Now the break up field by that man, Roberts.
The Logan City, it's paramount that they keep Norths down here in their own quarter. They must chase Daryl Duncan here now on the fifth tackle, because he'll kick the ball.
There he is, standing back in behind the ruck. No great pressure on him, and he kicks to the open spaces. Chalice comes across. Plenty of players in front of him, and a good tackle made by Craig Lee. Hughes up from fullback. The handling has been pretty good considering the ball must be wet. And here's a great break by Connors. Peter Connors down the centre of the field. He had support inside, but he ran away from Armstrong.
I'll tell you what, there's not much of this Peter Connors, but by geez, he's a tough little rooster.
Loonan gets it wide. Standing out there, Gary O'Brien, the second rower. The defence quickly up, though, on Finch. Loonan. Tory. The ball put down, but there's play on. Fifth tackle now on the North 22. Loonan gets it to Aaron Stewart. He puts it up. Going back as Huxtable. He allows it to bounce in the in-goal area. Took the chance. There were no chasers close at hand, and it went over the dead ball line.
Well, Logan City get the ball back here from their 25. Oh no, it is a tap. I'm sorry.
Yes, it wasn't touched.
It wasn't touched, no.
So North now try to work it out of their own territory on the blind side. Dinty going forward.
Notice here where Daryl Duncan's standing. He's standing virtually out in the centres, and they've also had McKenzie out there running wide.
Solid defence on Asplin. Duncan plays it just short of halfway. Kicking out of dummy half is Evans. And that's a good kick by Troy Evans. Binding touch. And takes it inside the Logan 22. And this will be the first scrum of the match. And we've had 15 minutes of play. Neither side has been kicking for touch so far, just kicking for territory. Trying to get the chasers down there and pin the fullbacks. Connors beats the scrum and wins it.
Warren, did you note there in that scrum that Dave Asplin actually went into the second row and Ian McKenzie actually went to lock? Now, there must be a reason for that, and I think maybe it's because Ian McKenzie has had more experience at lock forward.
To be honest, Tom, there's been so many changes in this North's lineup coming into the game that it's hard to work out who is where.
Well, Ian McKenzie was down as the second row, but look where he's packing.
And that ball lost on the first tackle by Logans. I think it was Strawn unable to hang on to it. A chance for North now. They've got 6 tackles, 30 metres out. Back it comes to Kellaway. He gets it out to Chumavave. McKenzie runs into dummy half, but he wants to work it to the open side. Here they go with Duncan. Huxtable, a constant threat. That time the defence of Tory hauled him back.
Actually, Logan City were very lucky to get away with that. They were very short out wide and very, very fortunate.
Dinty loses the ball. Logan come up with it through Tory. Young takes them on, but they drive him backwards. That's good defence from Dinty and McKenzie. Dinty keen to make up for the handling error. Now Stewart gets it away to Young. On it goes to Finch.
Logan City they're just standing flat-footed. They've got to get deeper and run onto this ball and make North earn their tackles.
Gary O'Brien held just outside the quarter line. 4 points to 0 in favour of North after an early try scored by Harvey. Chalice from dummy half. Fifth tackle. Stewart at dummy half. The kick from Loonan. He's chasing through, putting pressure on Huxtable. He takes it well, and Huxtable's off. Gets it away too. Chance out wide for the winger Roberts. Gets the pass back inside. This is good football. Peter Gibson with it. Gets it to McKenzie. He can't stand in the final tackle, but that was great attacking play. Gibson and Roberts working well together. Now the defence is stretched on the far side. Chumavave goes to the line, fires a pass out to Harvey. Harvey for the line, throwing it back inside. And Logan City dive in on the loose pass. Chalice comes up with it.
Jeff Huxtable, every time he touches that ball, he looks dangerous, Warren.
He is a very slippery customer. Great acceleration. And might do well not to kick to him. Hughes. Well, Doug Hughes is doing the work of the forwards. Ricardo Torre now has a run. 29 years of age. It's the fifth tackle. Strawn. Connors in trouble. They've got to get rid of it. It's the last tackle. Stewart's forgotten about it. Surely they must kick. Well, the mistake made.
Well, that is really bad football there. Now, the captain there, Armstrong, he's got to get in there, organise. Although he's playing in the centre, he's got to talk to his half-backs, and they should have kicked that ball. And now there's a 2 points here, just for the taking for Guy Harvey.
Up inside the 5. The penalty right in front of the post. Guy Harvey, a prolific point scorer, missed with his first attempt at a conversion. This for the penalty goal. And with no trouble at all, he puts it between the posts. North extend their lead. It's now 6 points to 0. Tony Girdler gets play underway once more. 20 minutes of play gone. McKenzie brings it back. Strong player Ian McKenzie was in the State League trial games, but didn't make the final squad. It had some injury problems in the meantime.
Yeah, he had a slow start to the series. He had an injured leg, but he's come back strong as ever.
Joe Topping to play it, 10 metres short of halfway. Lee, Duncan, hops it up for Huxtable. Huxtable knows where the money is, doesn't he? He's never far from Daryl Duncan. He's sniffing around all the time because it's inevitable that Duncan's going to get the pass away. Here they go again. Dinty swings it back inside to Kellaway. He keeps it going. Evans trying to stay alive.
That's good football there. Good backing up by Troy Evans. And I think you'll find as the game progresses, when the gaps open up in the middle, you'll see Troy Evans running a lot more from dummy half.
Well, the kick through from Kellaway. I must question the positional play of Doug Hughes. He's an enthusiastic fullback. He seems to be far too close up to the play all the time, particularly late in the tackle count. There's no one back at all.
Now, where are these Logan City forwards? They should be there taking the ball up. And, mate, they're making it pretty hard on these two little halfbacks.
Armstrong slips a pass to Chalice. Rain continuing to drizzle down. Armstrong at dummy half. Gets it to Finch. And Finch takes off. A good run from Bernie Finch. Still going. Oh, he's lost the ball. Ruined some fine work. Good individual play by the centre. Bernie Finch, a 24-year-old plumber.
Yes, here we just have a look on the replay, and I think this is early in the tackle count. Another bad mistake by Logan City. Now, they're under enormous pressure here, and don't be surprised if North, they could score a try here after that mistake.
Tackle coming in from behind. Finch knocked the ball loose as it jolted him. Here's Huxtable from the scrum win. He's got a long stride. Likes to step sideways off his left foot, leaves tacklers reaching. Joe Topping, held by Paul Strawn. Dummy half, Darren Roberts. Norths have a back line. Lee, Kellaway, McKenzie gets it out to Asplin. And up with it is Robert Braun for Logan. Here's Hughes.
As I can see the game going now, Warren, Norths have got their forwards attacking out wide, so don't be surprised in the second half. They'll really work up the centre with Duncan taking the ball wide, turning it up the centre. Good defence by Topping on Strawn. Connors
ran into trouble, and it was in the form of the Lockford Asplin, but they keep it going. And dumped over the sideline is Tony Girdler.
That's good defence there by Joe Topping, and he'll work all day.
Girdler gets himself into trouble here. Heavy defence from Topping and also
number 5, which is Peter Gibson.
Peter Gibson playing in the centre. Lee with the scrum win. Kellaway, there's Gibson into the action once more. Duncan has remained on this side of the field, and the mistake made by the dummy half. He knew what was on. Mackenzie knew he was supposed to come back to Duncan, who had not followed across field from the scrum.
Yeah, here Ian Mackenzie just rushes it a little bit, takes his eye off the ball, and what happens, a knock on.
Scrum win to Logan City. Connors makes a half break. Now it's Robert Braun. Slips it away to Loonan. The ball lost. Loonan unable to hang on to it. That's the second handling error in the space of a couple of minutes by Logan City early in the tackle count. Tony Loonan, though, does look dangerous when he gets the ball.
Here we see it here, and that ball must be getting very, very slippery now. So both sides should really get their kicking game organised and play the game down the other end.
North's winning the scrums, 4-2. To Mavave, to Gibson. He's got Roberts outside him. Back inside he goes. To Mavave. Good football by North. They keep the ball alive all the time. Evans, Roberts. The defence holds this time. To Mavave. Kellaway working it wide. He finds out there Dave Asplin. Still they go ahead. Kellaway once more. Great passing. Hill just a few metres out. It's Dinty. He was working wide. Duncan now. Gets it to Mackenzie. He's got support. He pops it up. Chumavave hangs onto it brilliantly. That is an excellent try. Fine pass. But Chumavave did very well to hang on to it. Tacklers all over the top of him. He also had the upright of the posts coming towards him. Hard to keep your eye on the ball. North's lead 10-0. This followed a tremendous raid down the left-hand side of the field. It came back from Duncan to Mackenzie. That's a great pass. And Chumavave falls over the line. Pat Chumavave the try.
Yeah, here we see Daryl Duncan take the ball across in a perfect pass to Ian Mackenzie. But have a look at this. Pops the ball up to Chumavave and scores right next to the post.
Guy Harvey would throw this over. In fact, he wouldn't have to throw it much further than the blokes playing 2 up on Anzac Day. And straight between the posts it goes. He gets the money there, and North's lead by 12 points to 0 after 25 minutes of play. North's coach, Dave Brown, looking on.
Yes, here we see this try again. But Mackenzie, like I said, he came back after that leg injury. But now that pass he just gave to the player who scored the try. Mate, you wouldn't see better in Sydney football. That was great work by Ian Mackenzie.
Young. Tim Young with a good burst. The 22-year-old policeman going close. Former Brothers player. Connors now. Oh, bad pass. Armstrong keeps it alive. Gets it to Loonan. Hughes to Girdler. Steps back in away from the touchline, and now the penalty goes to Logan City. North were never back for 5 metres. The referee playing the advantage. Armstrong wants to take a quick tap. Out it goes to Loonan. The pass is knocked down and knocked on by Huxtable. But I'd say that Jeff Huxtable would be fairly pleased all the same, even though he's conceded the scrum feed.
Yes, now that Timothy Young there, he just showed that what he can do. He just made a powerful run upfield and made plenty of yardage. Why doesn't he do it more often?
Penalty against Troy Evans, the North's hooker. Feed across the scrum. Appeared to be the call from the referee. Here is the scrum. Virtually came straight back out of the tunnel. Logan only 5 metres out with Corey having a charge. The big New Zealander goes close. Attacking options either way. Loonan gives it to Young. But that offence was good. Dinty had him marked.
They're still a bit short down the blind side. No, Troy Evans moved across.
Having a go himself is Loonan. And he's lost the ball. Well, what a let-off. Logan was pretty ambitious going from dummy half there anyway. They had it pretty well covered. Scrum win goes to North. Lee has it. Roberts. Darren Roberts, one of the late inclusions in the side. When I say late, he wasn't named in the squad earlier in the week.
But he's having a fair game, the winger there for Norse, and mate, he's filling in very well there on the wing.
Duncan gets the kick away, but Hughes well positioned this time, perfectly positioned. Breaks one tackle, stands, but there was no support for him. Armstrong, he's working hard.
You find every time Armstrong does get into the dummy half position, he will run himself.
Strawn takes play into North's half. Tumavave running off his halfback. I should say Tory running off his halfback. Lunan. Chalice has come in, breaks a couple of tackles, got a good pass to Lunan, but he can't hang on to it. And cut down is Tumavave. Now the penalty goes to Norths against Logan City, not clearing away from the tackled man.
Yeah, what happened here? Who was it? Armstrong tackles
Tumavave, opposite number.
Yeah, and wasn't onside, and the penalty was given.
Harvey finds touch. Evans takes the tap. Topping puts his head down. Just a couple of minutes till the half-time break. Dinty with a good run up to the halfway line. North's leading 12-0. Ball lost by Dinty. He didn't like the tackle of Gary O'Brien. Connors puts it in. It's a Logan ball. Armstrong is standing at 5'8" for that scrum. Loops the pass out to Finch. And a replacement on the field for Logan City. Brett Gould is out there wearing number 14. He's a fresh reserve. And here he is now. Got a bit of size about him too. And immediately there's an altercation with Troy Evans.
Yeah, very fiery here. Here we see Troy Evans coming over with that swinging arm. Troy Evans is a very, very good player, but that was a bit silly. And
we just suggested they know each other. They may have had a meeting in a dark alley once. But Troy Evans gave him the big welcome, didn't he?
My word, he did. Come and cop this.
Come in, spinner. Tory off the tap. "30 metres out from the North line. Young.
Far too shallow, the Logan City forwards there. Young was virtually walking when he took that football.
Logan City would love a try before half-time. Here's Gould. Back inside to Lunan. Stewart. Still a couple of tackles up their sleeve. Chalice gets it to Lunan. Gets it to Finch. 20 metres out. Plenty of talk out there. Connors. Strawn hasn't got the support. Now he does. Armstrong. Hughes. Not quite the timing in the work from the backs. Fifth tackle. Armstrong puts it up. He's chasing through. Huxtable under pressure here and takes it beautifully. What a magnificent take right on the half-time.
Yep.
Great take, Huxtable. That was pressure.
This is a great bomb here by Armstrong, but look at Huxtable. He doesn't take his eye off this football, and he leaps high into the air and saves a very, could have been an awful situation for Norths. Look at that beautiful take.
And just managed to hang on to it too in the tackle of Armstrong. Logan City unable to score a try just before half-time, and Norths leading by 12 points to 0 with 2 tries to none. And let's take a look at the half-time stats. The scrums have gone to the Devils 5-3, none against the feed. The penalties going the other way, 6-3 in favour of the Scorpions. And look at the tackles in possession, 102 to Logan City compared to 69 for North. So Logan City have had plenty of possession, mainly in their own quarter though. The errors, missed tackles, 9 by Logan City to North's 3. Bad passes, 2-0, 2 made by North's there. 7-5 the drop balls, Logan City too many. Overall errors 16 versus 10. So Logan City making more mistakes. And the tackle counts, Dave Asplin leading the way for North from Joe Topping and Troy Evans. And for the Scorpions, Robert Braun with 16 tackles, Gary O'Brien 15 and Ricardo Torrey 14. Overall 151 versus 107. Second half underway from the boot of Girdler. Logan City having the better part of the last 10 minutes of the first half. So what can they do in this second half? They're down by 12 points. North have looked the better team in possession, but Tom, Logan City, as we saw from those stats, have had plenty of ball.
Well, Warren, I'll tell you what I'd do at half-time if I would have been the Logan City coach. I would have got the hearts of the little halfbacks, Tony Loonan and Peter Connors, and I would have transplanted them into some of them forwards. I think the Logan City forwards, they're not doing the job. They seem to be overawed by the North's pack, and mate, they just not having a go.
Joe Topping dropping the ball there. He wasn't really under any pressure at all from the defence. So North's making the early mistake. And the last thing you want to do is give an opposition team a sniff when you really feel as if you can control the game. Brett Gould down, just short of the North's 22. Penalty goes to Logan City against North's. Evans holding down in the tackle.
Here we see Troy Evans coming over the top, and but I think it wasn't Troy Evans. I think actually it was both Troy Evans and Mark Kellaway. I think they were both at fault.
Not releasing the player once he was effectively tackled.
And
so now Logan City only 12 metres out as Torrey has a go.
Yeah, and actually there, why didn't they kick for goal? Like it's only 12-0. That would have made it 12-2.
Young takes them on. He's a big burly fellow. He's held just a couple of metres out. A try will really lift Logan City here. Strawn, well tackled though. Getting up on top of him was the halfback Lee. Now Loonan, Torrey. Manages to hang on to the ball. I thought that it was going to come loose for a moment. Out of dummy half goes Stewart. Aaron Stewart is close. North's defence hanging on grimly. Fifth tackle. From dummy half, O'Brien flicks it to Armstrong. He dives through. That's a good try. A good try. Hard earned and a very important try as Logan City get their first points. It's 12-4 in favour of Norths. The first try of the second half will really lift their spirits. Gary O'Brien getting out of dummy half, slipping it away to Bob Armstrong on the fifth tackle, running it on the last. They didn't put the kick up.
Yeah, here we see Norths, I think, were waiting for the kick, but Gary O'Brien, smart thinking, turned the inside ball to Armstrong, and a try, just what Logan City needed.
21 years of age, an electrician by trade. 15 metres in from touch. This could well be a vital kick. He hits it well, it looks good, and the flags are up. So Logan City hit back to get within 6 points, and they are well within striking range of North now. It's 12-6 to North.
Yes, just what Logan City needed. There's a nice little flick pass in by Gary O'Brien. Armstrong did the rest. Well, they're back in the hunt.
North's paying the penalty for the early drop ball as Hughes brings it back. Hughes as enthusiastic as in the first half, lifted to Mavave and Duncan in the tackle. Now it's Finch. And look, there's plenty of talk. Connors clapping his hand, revving up his support. Here they come, and it's Young. The coach may have had a word to Young. The pass slipped away. Connors managed to pick up the scraps. Tim Young, the 22-year-old policeman, has started this second half much more dynamically than he played in the first half, or the early part of the first half.
And number 14, Brett Gould, seems to be getting mixed into everything here. He's had a good game since he's come on as a replacement.
Aaron Stewart nearly escaped. He was just grabbed by the collar by McKenzie. Fifth tackle. Back it comes to the centre, Finch, who puts the kick through on the last. Huxtable takes it well. The danger man beats 3 tackles. Just had his legs knocked from under him by Brett Gould.
Jeff Huxtable, he reminds me actually of Graham Langlands. Tall and lean and always beats the first couple of players.
As Norths now go on the attack. And the pass comes away from Kellaway. Going down the wing is Peter Gibson. And the penalty is against Logan City for reefing the ball out. Trying to steal the ball.
Yeah, actually here, a great tackle here by number 6. But actually, I reckon he dropped that ball. And I thought Anthony Girdler, he ripped the ball out. But looking on the replay, I think it should have been a scrum.
Only 10 metres out from the line. A chance for North to hit back immediately. Joe Topping goes close. Chance now on the blind side. Mackenzie puts it down, though. They've just had a little bit of a look, Ian Mackenzie. Evans picked up the loose ball. The Norths lose it on the second tackle.
Troy Evans goes down the blind side to here, and that was actually a set move, but the pass was just a little bit low for Mackenzie.
Scrum penalty goes to Norths. Scrum fed into the second row. The Brisbane referees certainly more stringent on their scrum rulings than Sydney referees. Already seen a couple of, or 3 scrum penalties. Ginty is not far out. Norths, plenty of men on this side of the field. Out it comes to Mackenzie. Mackenzie steams straight through. Mackenzie will go all the way. Ian Mackenzie running onto the pass well. And North hit back with an important try. That could just take the wind out of the comeback from Logan City. Out it came from Lee to Kellaway, and running hard onto the ball was Mackenzie. Brushed aside the tackle of Peter Connors, and the rest of them simply couldn't get to him.
Actually, good football here. Daryl Duncan standing on the outside of Mackenzie, singing out, second man, and Mackenzie actually got the ball instead of the second man, and that was a set play and came off perfectly.
Guy Harvey has had a pretty good day with the boot so far, 2 from 3. And this one handy to the posts. Round the corner style, as most of the kickers are these days, and he adds 2 more points. So Norths have re-established their dominance in the match. They lead 18 points to 6 with that conversion.
Actually, Ian Mackenzie, he's having a blinder here for Norths today. Look at this set play. He uses it, he stands upright and just pushes players off and in for a try.
Strawn. Connors with Loonan. The run around with Gary O'Brien. Now he gets it back to Chalice. Wayne Chalice from 40 metres out. He breaks one tackle. Harvey comes from behind and pulls him down. A good run from Wayne Chalice, the winger coming into the action in centre field. Connors on the 5th tackle. Puts a little kick ahead. It rebounds off a North player, and the North player is offside. Penalty right in front of the posts. Diving on it was Asplin. They take the quick tap. The kick through from Loonan on the first tackle, racing through his girdle, but he couldn't get to it. Well, it was a risk taken on the first tackle. I suppose it would have been a brilliantly judged risk if the try had been scored. And this is the incident with the kick through, chased by Girdler, and the collision with Darren Roberts, it looked like, in the in-goal area. And immediately, Girdler reaching for his back, and he's being placed on the stretcher very carefully now.
I think he got a bad knock there in the kidneys, Warren, as you can see him holding in that area.
Certainly looked that way, and when you get a knock to that lower part of the back, sometimes it can be so painful that it virtually does paralyse you. I know from one experience of my own, I got a knee in the back and I virtually couldn't move. I was unable to walk, but there was nothing more serious than that. Let's hope that that's the case with Tony Girdler. So Logan City continued play after an interruption of some minutes there. Little kick through by Connors. Mackenzie comes up with it for North, and away goes Huxtable.
It's interesting to note here that Pat Tumavavi has come off the paddock and he's replaced by Noel Teeney. Now, Noel Teeney just came back after a bad fractured cheekbone.
Interesting to see what effect that injury has on the players, if any. Sometimes teams can be a little shocked to see one of their players taken from the field on a stretcher. They seem to have got back into the action willingly. As Lee spins it out wide to Kellaway, he keeps it going. On it goes now to Gibson, flicks the pass out wide. Played back by Roberts. Duncan, kick ahead. Hughes read it well. I was critical of his positional play in the first half, Doug Hughes. He's been right on the spot in the second half.
Yeah, he's one of the Logan City players who really can hold his head up high. He's been in everything. He hasn't dropped his bundle at all.
Penalty against North, up inside the 5 metres. So North go back their own side of the halfway, and up comes Bernie Finch to look for touch for Logan City. North's coach Dave Brown made a number of changes to his side this week, mainly because of the loss of the State League players. And here goes Torrey, Ricardo Torrey. Connors runs into trouble, Darren Bell. Bell will be out to prove that he should have been in the first grade starting lineup today from the outset. That was a forward pass. Loonan with the forward pass.
Well, bad positional play actually here by number 4 or number 12 it was, and
Gary O'Brien.
Gary O'Brien, and that was just bad football. He overrun the football.
Don't worry.
Harvey looks for touch. Takes play just inside the Logan City half. Penalties 9-7 in favour of Logan City. Topping with his head down. This is Dinty. And we believe that Tony Girdler has an injured back. The doctors are checking on him at the moment. North attacking on a wide side here with Mackenzie back inside as Tierney, and he can't hang on to the pass, and it was a yawning gap there waiting for him to spear through it. It was good work by Mackenzie. The fresh player Noel Tierney couldn't hang on.
Yes, and Mackenzie runs the ball wide here, and Tierney actually just took his eye off the ball, and actually Logan City, they can breathe a sigh of relief.
Could well have been a match-sealing try.
Well, I think you'll see now with Tierney on the paddock that the ball will be spread a lot wider, and they will use their backs a lot more now.
Loonan to play it back on his own 22. Strawn.
Actually, Strawn too, he's only slightly built, but he hasn't shirked his workload at all.
Bernie Finch upended. 3 men in the tackle from North. They keep it going. Finch has another go, but now he loses the ball. So this run will pack 10 metres short of the halfway line on Logan City's side of halfway. $18 minutes of play in the second half gone. Kellaway working the plays with his backs. Now Gibson gets it out to Tierney. Tierney looks an impressive runner.
Oh, yeah, he's a good player. He came from Wynnum Manly last year to North and can play football.
Now it's Huxtable. Dragged down by Finch. Logan City screaming for the defensive adjustment in the backs. Kellaway gets it out to Gibson. Back inside again to Kellaway. Stepping off his right foot. Connors just gets hold of him. Mackenzie backing up well. Finally held on the far side there. The movement breaks down, but only 10 metres out as Roberts plays it back. It's Duncan now. Duncan's still going. Duncan stepping and weaving his way close to the line. Plays it back. Armstrong comes around and swoops on the dummy half. Evans eventually plays it on the fifth tackle. Dinty went to the blind side, comes back, and he's held. And the Logan City defence manages to stay rock solid.
Yeah, one must remember here that Logan City are without a lot of their good players. Bill Dart, he received a 4-week suspension, and also their classy halfback. Now, I can't remember his name, but they are a lot of players down, so I suppose they're, you know, being light on the way they are, well, you can't expect too much of them.
Well, the penalty here has gone to North.
Yeah, and actually here we see Logan City had the football, and that was stupid football there by Armstrong. He was in possession and gave the penalty away.
If Guy Harvey can land this penalty goal, it's going to be very difficult for Logan City to get back into this match and win it. They'll be down by 14 points, more than 2 converted tries. Harvey's kick looks pretty good. The flags are raised. North extend their lead. It's now 20 points to 6. Penalties 11-9 in favour of Logan City, so they can't complain about that part of the game. Hughes up to the halfway.
Now, that was off a tap penalty. Now, Hughes was the player who took the ball up. Now, he's a fullback. He's not a forward. Where are these other forwards? Not to be seen.
Connors, Loonan, Armstrong. Still going as Bob Armstrong. And some rugged defence comes in, and he doesn't like it in the end. Tough defence from Gibson coming over the top. Connors puts a kick ahead. Huxtable took it well because he didn't get a good bounce. And North tear up the middle as Gibson goes in amongst the forwards. Gary O'Brien with a tackle. Here's Tierney. Pops a pass away. Tinty can't hang on to it.
Yeah, he put Paul Dinty under a lot of pressure there, Tierney, and was a bad pass. Here's Hughes again taking the ball up. He's into everything.
This is Black. And Topping on top of him. And the referee's going to call Joe Topping out for the caution.
Yeah, here we see a good tackle actually over the top here by Joe Topping. And but then again, I think
Black.
Black actually had him hold round the neck and sort of didn't let him get up off the Logan player.
So the penalty kick finds touch 20 metres out from the North line. And from very deep comes Gary O'Brien. The North defence still has plenty of sting in it.
Yeah, Mackenzie hasn't stopped all day. His defence been very good.
Torrey. 8 minutes of play left. Logan City need to score here if they are going to threaten North at all. The ball's been put on the deck. Been knocked on both ways in the end. Logan City, Finch, unable to hang on to it here.
Actually, the ball here was knocked down by a North player, so that means now Logan City do get the feed and the loose head and should put North under pressure. They must score here.
They work the blind side with O'Brien, who's packing it a lot forward. Rahua. Connors. With Loonan and Hughes. He cut through nicely then, Hughes. Right in front of the post, 12 metres out. Connors turns it back inside to Young. Young still going. Very close. Logan going for the line through Stewart, but he loses the ball. He was sandwiched. He was crunched. That was a great tackle.
Great tackle there by Dinger Bell and also Troy Evans, and just jolted the ball straight out of his hands.
5 metres out, right in front of the post.
Actually, Logan City forwards, they just seem to go in spasms. If they could keep up the work continually and be a little bit consistent, well, they'd worry this side a bit, but they're just not keeping it up for a lengthy periods.
Evans knocked it on a dummy half. Just the littlest of knock-ons.
Yeah, I thought the referee was near going to let this go away, but you can see the little knock-on, and the referee was Johnny on the spot.
Evans was just a little casual there, maybe getting a little lazy late in the game. He didn't really bend his knees to get down to the ball.
No.
Scrum penalty as against the hooker. Evans doesn't like the decision. There it is, feet across the scrum, right across that tunnel. Here's Lunan. Throws it back behind Armstrong. He gets it back to Hughes. Black.
Actually, Troy Evans reminds you of that, what's his name, Ginger Meggs, mischievous, and he's into everything and fiery. Good player, Troy Evans.
Connors, Lunan, O'Brien, Finch. Attacking wide, just inside the north quarter line. O'Brien goes down the blind side. He caught them napping, puts the kick ahead. But back there in good defence for North. And the referee is going to speak to Finch for the high tackle. He did come in fairly late and high.
Yeah, good football here from, I think it was Gary O'Brien, and a little grubber kick over, which, you know, races for the ball, but good pick up there by the young replacement.
Everybody involved. Duncan with a dropout. Straight to Hughes. Hughes gets his legs pumping as he led with the palm into the face of Evans, and Evans is hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't look real good, but I think he might have just taken a little bit of a dive there, Troy, although he hasn't moved.
I think he is hurt. There it is.
Well, he's a very tough character, Troy Evans. Last year, he had a bad broken thumb, took his plaster off and played.
Well, he's on the wrong end of that penalty as well, but he doesn't bother to argue this time. Feet across once more. Plenty of scrum penalties going Logan City's way as Armstrong carves his way back in towards the post. Penalties now well and truly in Logan City's favour. Hughes trying to spin out of the tackle. Torrey drags a few tacklers in, but he hasn't been able to break many tackles today.
Yeah, I've been very disappointed with the Logan City forwards, and we'll put it this way, I wouldn't like any of them in the trench with me.
Here's a chance for Logan City as Stewart dives for the line and he scores the try, yes. Aaron Stewart, who was sandwiched a little while ago as he went from dummy half, this time he's more successful, reaching out. The defence was worried that the ball could come wide because they were outnumbered out towards the wing, and in close, turning the ball back inside, Aaron Stewart dives over. 20-10 in favour of North.
Yeah, here we see the little halfback Peter O'Connors. Now he turns the ball back into hooker Stewart, and it was a good try. Now they're two players, like I said, that little halfback Peter O'Connors. Look at him here, thinking all the time. And look at this ball inside to Stewart, and Stewart actually the hookers. He's had a fair game, and I think they scored that try. There's not many minutes to go, but at least it gives them some respectability.
Doug Hughes put the kick over for Logan City, taking over the kicking from Tony Girdler, and it's 20-12 in favour of North. Logan City wanted to get on with the job quickly.
Yes, here we see this good try again. Stewart, you know, he's a player, I think he has got a bit of a future. He's done well in the hooking role today and also in the dummy half position.
The scrums have gone to the Devils, 11-10. Just 2 minutes remaining in the match. The penalties 14-9 with a run of scrum penalties going to the Scorpions in the last few minutes. 14-9 to Logan City. Overall errors, North 26, Logan City 32. Quite a few handling errors by both teams in the second half. And look at the tackles in possession. As Armstrong has a run, gets a poor pass back. It's still, no, it is been knocked on in the end. The tackles in possession, Logan City have had the ball for 170 tackles. North just 118, yet North have controlled most of the match.
Yeah, North have controlled this ball very well. Like with Duncan on one side of the ruck and McKenzie on the other. Great.
Full-time siren sounds as the last tackle of the match is made. And North have won this match. They went into it as favourites. They found some sterling opposition from Logan City, but the Devils have won 20-12. North scored 3 tries to 2 for the Devils. Tries to Harvey, Chumavavi and McKenzie. Harvey kicking 4 from 5 to tally 12 points for the match. For the Scorpions, Armstrong and Stewart scored tries. Tony Girdler kicked a goal, as did Doug Hughes. Our Man of the Match award could have gone to 2 or 3 players, but Tom has selected fullback Jeff Huxtable. Jeff, that game turned out a little closer than you expected.
Yeah. So I think it's wet weather conditions, and probably we didn't play as well as we could have. I don't think, trying to throw the ball around a bit too much, you know, and brought them closer to us than they should have been. I think we took them a bit easy actually.
Ian McKenzie and Daryl Duncan control the game for the Devils. What would you be like if they weren't out there?
I'd hate to see it, to tell you the truth. I think myself we've got to try and rely a little bit less on Dunk. Myself, because like you can see in the game, he's there, you know, 2 or 3 rucks out of every 6, he's controlling the whole thing. If he gets hurt, who knows what's going to happen? So I reckon we need to have somebody else there, starting to control a bit more.
Now, your own form, with your pace and that good sidestep, at one stage Tommy compared you to Graham Langland's. Fair comparison.
I haven't seen him play football, to tell you the truth.
But you must be pretty happy with the way you're running, particularly running those kicks back.
Oh yeah, you know, if only one bloke comes up, it makes it a bit easier, but doesn't it? You know, they didn't have much of a chase today. One bloke comes too quick, it's not hard to get around him. Yeah.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
In the other matches played today at Purtell Park, East defeated West 14-12 in a close one. At Cougarai, Wynnum, too good for Ipswich, 22-18. At Newman Oval, Valleys lost their first game of the season, but without their 11 state league players, they went down to Souths 14-13. And at Dolphin Oval, a win to Brothers at last. First win of the season, they defeated Redcliffe 16-14. So the latter, Norths, are the sole leaders now on 10 points, unbeaten. Valleys and Easts on 8 points. West 6 points. Souths, Wynnum and Logan City on 4 points. And Redcliffe, Brothers and Ipswich bring up the rear on 2 points. Now, the State League is off and running. In Darwin last night, North Queensland defeated the Northern Territory 28-16. Today in Gladstone, Central Queensland 26 were too good for the Brisbane Metros 12. At Maryborough, Brisbane Capitals 16 defeated Wide Bay 10. And at Roma, Toowoomba 18 defeated the Gold Coast 14. The rain's still drizzling down here at Bashup Park, and that did contribute to some of those handling errors in the second half. But a good performance by Norths, who remain unbeaten. Now, what have we got for you next weekend? Saturday Super League. That match hasn't been decided as yet because of the split round leading up to the first State of Origin match. But live at 3 o'clock next Saturday, join Arthur Beetson and I, because I'm sure we'll have some tremendous football for you. What is worth waiting for, well and truly, next Saturday night, the English Challenge Cup final from Wembley. Gene Miles will be in action for Wigan when they take on Castleford. That's at 11:30 next Saturday night, live from Wembley. Now, on Sunday, the Brisbane Premiership takes a rest next weekend because of the Under-17 and Under-19 Carnival. So join us the following week, a fortnight's break for the Brisbane Premiership, but we'll be back, Tom and I, with Brisbane Big League in a fortnight. Enjoy your week. We'll see you.
Out straight away.